The time is 6:40. I'd like to call this regular Board of Education to order. The first item on our agenda this evening is our roll call. Vice President Lee, can you conduct the roll call for those Board of Education members who are present?
Yes, Madam President. Trustee Schindler,
Here.
Trustee Townsend,
Here.
Vice President Lee, I am here. President Hawkins.
Here. We have 4 Board of Education members who are present, and we have 3 Board of Education members who are absent. That would be Trustee Gaisley, Trustee Goodrich, and Trustee Fields. Next, that takes us to the Pledge of Allegiance. And at this time, I would like to invite everyone to join us in reciting the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now that takes us to achievements, awards, and recognition. And at this time, I will turn it over to Dr. Zachary Ross.
Thank you so much, Madam President. I'm just happy to report that we continue to be able to recognize our staff for going above and beyond. This recognition came from the Michigan Schools business officials. Sue McCarty, our Human Resources Director, met the requirements for renewing the Human Resource Specialist certification under the MSBO's voluntary certification program. This is a commitment of 90 hours of professional development established by the MSBO Board of Directors through their Professional Development Committee. So she has now this is for 5 years. And it's an accomplishment because it's the above and beyond the regular professional development that we have. And it is from our state. And so I just am very proud to present Ms. McCarty to the board for this accomplishment and recognizing her MSBO certification.
Congratulations, Ms. McCarty. Next, that takes us to the acceptance of the agenda. Before we accept the agenda, there is one adjustment that I would like to place before the board, and that is moving our second public comment section of the evening above our board workshop, so that if there are any members of the public here who would like to address the Board of Education, they can do so before we begin our Board of Education workshop. Is there any? So in addition to the second public comment portion, we would also like for the board superintendent comments to also follow. So there'll be 2 adjustments to the board agenda. After the action item, which is number 7, we would have public comments, our second public comment portion. Following that, we would have board superintendent comments. And after that, we will go into our Board of Education workshop this evening with Dr. Yolanda Sealy-Ruiz. Are there any objections by the board regarding those adjustments to the agenda this evening? Seeing none, is there a motion at this time to accept the amended agenda as presented?
Madam President, this is Trustee Schindler, so moved.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Trustee Schindler. Is there support for this motion?
Support Vice President Lee.
Supported by Vice President Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, that takes us to the first public comment portion for this evening. And are there any public comment cards before I read the public comment protocol? The public comment protocol reads as follows. Pursuant to Board of Education Policy 0167.3, the board recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express their views. Please limit statements to 3 minutes in duration. Participants shall direct all comments to the board and not to staff or other participants. No person may address or question board members individually. Remarks shall be made in a respectful and professional manner. Ms. Lisa Brown.
Good evening. I'm here representing the YCBA, which is the Ypsilanti Band Association for Ypsilanti High School. And on June 20th, you approved our band camp for Echo Grove, and I'd like to thank you for that. Our last away band camp was in 2019. Last year, we were able to hold a band camp on the high school premises. Our band director had resigned just prior to band camp starting, but he did agree to stay on as a counselor for the week. And board members of YCBA were in charge of the camp for the week. So we're very excited that we're able to go away again, and thank you for your approval. However, with the change in the administration at the high school, the information that our approval had gone through never really reached us. And at this point, we're unable to find out if transportation has been arranged, which was part of the package. We leave next Monday. We really need a bus. Our current band director, Mr. Janatis, is currently working at a band camp this week, so he's unable to be here and or really follow through. So I am here representing the Band Association and would really like to make sure transportation is arranged for our band camp next week. And thank you very much for your support of Ypsi Bands.
Thank you, Ms. Brown.
We've been in contact with Teresa Whitley. And we're just waiting for confirmation from her and her company back.
I know that the new building principal has been in contact, but I don't know if the band teacher has talked to her. So I want to make sure of that. Maybe it's because he's doing the band camp, so.
Yeah, so I know that he sent the information to Teresa a week or two ago after we had that email, President Hawkins, after you and I had talked. And so, but we haven't heard confirmation back from Ms. Whitley as to whether we're all set or not, and that's kind of.
Okay, and I know they're going to talk directly to the staff member, so I'll make sure that the principal is able to reach him.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And just so you are both aware, we always, when queries come to the Board of Education, the board president, we always make sure we follow the proper protocol, which is to make sure any requests go to district administration, and district administration then follows up with the personnel, and then a follow-up will be given to those who are inquiring about an issue. So thank you so much.
Our only concern was because the administration has changed, there's kind of been
We're
a
aware.
drop.
Yep, we apologize. Our intention is never to, when there's a transition in leadership, for anything to fall through the cracks, but know and be assured that district administration are doing everything they can to follow through and follow up, and they will be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we had Director Donatas email Ms. Whitley today to try to get confirmation. He hasn't heard back yet. So what would you like us to do if it doesn't get back in the next 2 days?
No,
Well, just so we make sure we're following protocol for the board meeting, because there's only one public comment card that has been filled out. If you want to, follow up by email, that would be perfectly fine. Thank you so much. Mhm. Next, that takes us to the consent agenda. And at this time, is there a motion?
Madam President, Vice President Lee, move that the Board of Education approve the July 11, 2022 regular board meeting minutes, 2 personnel matters as per the presented list dated 7/26/22, new hires and resignations.
Thank you. A motion has been made by Vice President Lee. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Townsend, support.
Supported by Trustee Townsend. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, that takes us to action item numbers, we're at number 7 under business and finance. And that's the approval of the EMU event proposal for Grizzly Learning Camp. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, this is trustee Schindler. I move that the Board of Education accept as presented the EMU event proposal for $40,000 for Grizzly Learning Camp.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Schindler. Is there support for this motion?
Trustee Townsend, support.
Supported by trustee Townsend. Any discussion on this item?
Yes, please. Can we get a little background on this, please?
Dr. Zachary Ross?
Thank you. I'm going to ask Dr. Coscarella if he would provide some background on the Dare to Design Summer Camp.
Good evening, board. So the EMU Event Camp is part of Grizzly Learning Camp, as it says in there. And what it entails is professors from Eastern Michigan with their STEM background being on site with our students over at Willow Run Middle School and also the high school, because there, like it said in there, there are 4 sessions, 2 at the elementary level. So the 2nd and 3rd graders had an opportunity to participate, 4th and 5th graders, middle school, and then our high school. So there was an opportunity for multi-age. And what they do is they present them with a project or a problem of practice. And then they work with the Eastern Michigan University professors to design that project or find a solution for that practice. So for example, we did this last year, and one of the students had a toothbrush problem. They were worried about all of the water that was being used when you brush your teeth. So their idea was to invent a device that would catch the water and that you could kind of dip your toothbrush in and then brush your teeth and not keep the water running. And so they came up with this with the professors. Then they used our 3D printer and actually made the product, and it was on display during our walkthrough at the end of Grizzly Learning Camp. So it's very hands-on related, high rigor, high engagement, high support.
Great. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Coscarella. Any other board comments or questions? Just to repeat, a motion was made by trustee Schindler, supported by trustee Townsend. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, that takes us to the second public comment portion for this evening. I'm sorry.
The Troon resolution.
Oh, I apologize. I forgot. I skipped over Troon. Next is the adoption of the Troon resolution of the IPA for the purchase of copiers and printer units. Is there a motion at this time?
Madam President, this is trustee Schindler. I move that the Board of Education adopt as presented the resolution as written by Troon to move forward with an IPA for the purchase of copier and printer units managed and maintained by Applied Imaging.
Thank you. A motion has been made by trustee Schindler. Is there support for this motion?
Support Vice President Lee.
Supported by Vice President Lee. Any discussion on this item?
Yes, can we get a little background on this, please?
Certainly, and either Solomon or I can start off. The board has already approved the contract with Applied Imaging. However, part of their contract had a portion that asked us to have the attorney to write, to sign it. And so when we sent it to Roy Henley, our attorney Henley, he had a few questions and sent us to one of his colleagues. When we talked to the colleague, they thought the way that the contract was, it would be better to do it as a purchase, a purchase agreement instead. And so the attorney worked to rewrite the information based on this resolution here. And this will be a better situation for the district in terms of liability and all these other things. So this is changing what you approved from being like an invoice and a contract to a purchase agreement.
Okay.
And these will be copiers or printers going in all of the buildings? Because you said 32 of them.
Yes, these are all going to be new copiers going to all of the buildings.
Our previous contract was up, as Solomon pointed out at the, I think, was that the May board meeting that you approved it? And that contract was ending. But that, if we did it just as the contract, it, again, with our attorneys were lifting that it had some liability pieces for the district. So this puts the district in a better situation with the machines.
Any other board questions or comments? A motion was made by trustee Schindler, supported by Vice President Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Now that takes us to the second public comment portion for this evening. Ms. Nolan, are there any cards that have come in? Thank you. Miss Amanda Smith?
Good evening. I hope all of you are doing well. Nobody asked me to say this, but I feel, first of all, deeply grateful to each of you for serving as board members, especially to the three of you who are up for reelection. I'm super glad that you're here and wanting to continue to do that service. I know that the Democratic Party endorsements are on the same, that meeting is on the same day as the next school board meeting. I don't know if there's anything that can be done to give flexibility to those three board members so that they can speak on their own behalf. But I feel like this year more than ever, it's important for people to hear directly from them. And I don't know if there's any flexibility on the Michigan Democratic Party side to like get a video or something else that would help you do that even if you're not there. But that is on my mind and I thought I would lift that up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Next, that takes us to board superintendent comments. Are there any board comments this evening?
I believe there, was it trustee Goodrich had sent some?
Oh, she did. She sent me no. Right.
She sent an email with her board comments.
Yes, I don't have those pulled up. I'm not, did she send them sometime before the board meeting today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, I haven't had an opportunity to pull those up.
I pulled it up on my phone. Did you want me to read them? Madam
You
President?
can, or we can make sure they're reflected in the minutes. You can go ahead and read them if you have them pulled up.
Okay. She said, hello all. I apologize for being unable to make it to tonight's meeting, but I want to share some of my sentiments, which I know are shared, that I would have liked to address during the board superintendent comments. One, thank you to Superintendent Zachary Ross and all of the members of the team who helped prepare and participated in our board retreat. The shared time for learning and dialogue was truly energized, inspiring, and productive. Two, gratitude to all who contributed to the Jazz in the parking lot event. This was a lovely evening and it was wonderful to connect with staff, families, community partners, and other members of our YCS community. Three, congratulations to all of our scholars, teachers, and staff who have contributed to Grizzly Learning Camp. Last week's 2nd to 5th grade GLC parade of projects was so fun and impressive, and I wish I could have middle school GLC events as well. Finally, I wanted to express a sincere thank you to all who stepped up to run for the opportunity to serve our kids and our community on the YCS Board of Education, and I know our community will be very engaged with the campaigns and the November elections. Again, I am sad to miss the work of tonight's meeting, and I'm grateful for the role that Dr. Yolanda Sealy-Ruiz has played in supporting the equity work of our district with our teachers, staff, and families. It is awesome to have her help in facilitating our board work in this area as well, and I wish I could be there. Best, Trustee Goodrich.
Thank you for reading those comments, trustee Townsend. I did invite trustee Goodrich and trustee Gainsley to submit any comments individual about the board workshop this evening. So I am glad that trustee Goodrich was able to share her sentiments about missing tonight's workshop, but I did offer both of them an opportunity to share any comments they had about our equity work. So they will be missed, but I know this is the first of many workshops that we will have regarding our equity work. So thank you again for reading those comments. Are there any other board comments this evening? Dr. Zachary Ross.
Thank you so much, Madam President. First, I'd again, thank you all for the work and engagement at the retreat. I just really appreciate that time together. And just from learning with and from one another. Secondly, we want to welcome back all of our administrators. Today was their first day back. And so it's exciting to just really get started with it feels real starting the 22-23 school years. When everyone is gone, it doesn't feel as real, but once they are in, they were already in working with Dr. Coscarella this morning. And the energy was great. As you can see from the room, we had a group of teachers here. They're at a 2-day training teachers as facilitators, and our teachers were super engaged. And we know from Grizzly Learning Camp, from just the work over the years, how amazing our staff really is. But just to be here, feeling the energy and knowing that last year was such a challenging year just for educators, period, to see them come back so enthusiastic and engaged in the work was exciting. And I'm just believing that that's just indication of when we get all our staff back, how it will be. I know this was in the district newsletter today, but just a reminder that at Riverside Park in Ypsi and at Gallup Park in Ann Arbor from May all the way to September, some of our student artwork is there. So there's an opportunity to see it. I know the pictures don't do it justice. And again, just to lift up our amazing scholars. There's quite a bit happening in August. So as we think about there's kindergarten roundup, and then August 20th, we just keep putting it out there. The FACE conference that we've had to delay with the pandemic is on. They're asking for volunteers. That notice just went out today. And so we'll have the FACE conference in the morning, and then the back to school bash will be in the afternoon. So it'll just be a full fun Saturday event. So I'm looking forward to that. And even with our staff, we have a little surprise because it's going to be a little bit different for our staff opening this year. And we're super excited about it. And I'm just looking forward to the work that is going to happen throughout this year. We're starting off with a bang. The administrators, we're going to take them to Walden Woods Retreat Center this week for us to do some true collaboration, team building. And we haven't been able to do our normal work since pre-pandemic. We've had some times together, but not in this way. So I believe that, again, it's going to really set the tone for a great school year.
Fantastic. I did send some updates out. I won't repeat them here. As far as August 15th, I just wanted to remind the board again that we have our mid-monitoring session with Dr. Zachary Ross and her team, facilitated by our consultant, Mary Kerwin. And I know that the Washtenaw County Democratic Party, they are aware that we have a board meeting that evening. I haven't heard from any of the candidates to date about this conflict. And so I look forward to seeing what we can do. I appreciate the comments this evening. And I don't know if there's anything that group can do as well. So hopefully we can be posted on any flexibility that they might also have regarding the conflicts for both meetings. Any other board comments, or Dr. Zachary Ross, anything else?
Well, thank you.
All right, board members, do you need a break, or can we transition right to our workshop with Dr. Celia Ruiz? Do you need a maybe a 2-minute break to get her a chance, give her a chance to get set up. We'll take a 5-minute break. We'll come back at 10 after 7 and begin our workshop.
Okay.